You awaken in pitch darkness, your heart pounding against your ribcage as you gasp for breath. The air around you is stale, thick with the scent of mildew and damp stone. Panic spikes through you as your fingers grasp blindly at the icy floor beneath, feeling the grit of sand and grime scrape your skin. Where are you? Your mind scrambles to recall memories, but your head aches fiercely, throbbing as if struck by a heavy hand. The silence around you is absolute, broken only by the distant drip 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 of water echoing like a drumbeat of doom. You sit upright, shivering violently, and your palms brush over your swollen belly. Your unborn child shifts uneasily within you, as though sensing your distress. Suddenly, the grating creak of a rusty door hinge slices through the silence, and torchlight floods the space, blinding you momentarily. You shield your eyes, heart lurching at the shadow looming in the doorway. Awake at last, a voice sneers. It is cold, familiar, and your stomach twists as recognition hits you. Your own brother steps forward, face illuminated by the flickering flame, eyes cruel and unfeeling. Why are you doing this? Your voice is barely above a whisper, trembling with shock and disbelief. You reach out instinctively, but chains rattle harshly against your wrists, yanking you back to reality. Because, dear sister, you pose a threat, he hisses venomously. Your child, born of royal blood and scandalous liaison, is a stain upon our family's name. Father entrusted me to erase that stain. A sharp gasp escapes you, disbelief and sorrow surging together. You shake your head violently, tears stinging your eyes. Please, brother, I beg you. It does not have to end like this. It is already done, he states flatly, without emotion. You have been declared dead, tragically lost in a shipwreck, mourned publicly and forgotten. There is no returning from death. Despair envelops you, suffocating like a burial shroud. Memories flash your luxurious chambers, warm sunlight cascading through silk curtains, laughter echoing in palace halls, all gone now, replaced by this nightmare. You will live the remainder of your miserable days here, alone, he continues coldly, voice devoid of humanity. Perhaps your child will survive, perhaps not. Either way, it shall never see daylight. He turns abruptly, stepping from the cell, and the door clangs shut, locking with a final deafening echo. The torchlight fades, plunging you back into oppressive darkness. Your heart shatters within your chest, breaths coming in choking sobs. The betrayal is absolute, a blade driven straight into your heart by the hand of your own blood. Time dissolves into meaningless stretches of darkness, punctuated by hunger, cold, and despair. You lose track of days, haunted by dreams of warmth, freedom, and sunlight, only to awaken to the crushing weight of your imprisonment. Hunger gnaws relentlessly at your belly, but worse is the aching loneliness. Your child grows inside you, the only warmth left in this forsaken cell. Every movement, every gentle kick, both comforts and terrifies you. What fate awaits this innocent life born into captivity? Hours become days, days blur into weeks, and hope dwindles until it's little more than a flickering ember in your soul. One day or perhaps night, for you have no sense of time, the silence breaks again. Footsteps echo down the corridor outside your cell, not your brother's harsh stride, but lighter, hesitant. A small slot at the bottom of the door scrapes open, and a soft, tremulous voice whispers through. Princess, listen carefully. You do not know me, but I know you. There is talk among servants, whispers of your survival. Your brother grows careless. A surge of adrenaline jolts through you. Who are you? Your voice cracks, hopeful but wary. A friend, the voice replies urgently. A guard loyal to your mother's memory. I can help you escape, but it must be soon. Your pulse quickens, a spark reigniting deep within you. Yet suspicion and fear linger. Could this be another cruel trick, designed to break you completely? How can I trust you? You whisper desperately. You have no choice. The voice answers solemnly. Your brother prepares another ship this time, one truly destined for destruction. He intends to erase all traces. It leaves tomorrow night. Panic claws at your throat. Tomorrow, could you risk everything on the promise of a faceless voice? What must I do? Your voice is barely audible, yet filled with a desperate resolve. Wait for my signal. Be ready. Your child's fate and yours depends on this. Footsteps recede quickly, plunging you back into silence. But this time, you're no longer alone. Hope battles fear in your heart, uncertain yet determined. Could freedom truly be within reach? Or is this just another cruel twist of fate? set to end in ruin. You barely sleep that night, every noise in the corridor jerking you awake with your heart hammering wildly. The darkness presses in, thick and suffocating, your breath shallow as fear and hope war within you. Could the voice belong to someone truly willing to risk their life to help you escape? Or was it yet another cruel game orchestrated by your brother to break what remains of your spirit? You clutch your belly protectively, your unborn child stirring gently, oblivious to the horrors outside its mother's womb. Your mind drifts back to brighter days when life was bathed in golden sunlight rather than steeped in shadows. You remember the lush gardens of your family's palace, filled with the sweet fragrance of roses and jasmine, the laughter of courtiers mingling with the soft notes of a lute. How distant and impossible that life seems now. Suddenly, a sound jolts you from your memorized muffled clinking of metal, the shuffle of footsteps outside your cell door. You sit upright, heart racing, every muscle tensed for whatever may come next. The door's viewing slot snaps open again, and your breath catches. A different voice whispers urgently through the gap, gruff yet tinged with compassion. "Princess, now is the time. Quickly!" Your limbs feel heavy, weak from confinement and malnutrition, yet desperation lends strength you didn't know you had. You push yourself upright, gripping the wall for support. The chains binding your wrists scrape painfully against the stone, but your resolve steels you against the pain. The door creaks open, and for the first time in weeks, you step beyond the confines of your prison. The hallway is dimly lit by flickering torches, shadows dancing on rough-hewn stone walls. Standing before you is a guard, his face obscured beneath a hood, but his eyes reflecting sincerity and urgency. "You must trust me," he murmurs, handing you a rough cloak. "Put this on quickly." You wrap the cloak around your trembling frame, pulling the hood low to hide your identity. The guard leads you swiftly down a narrow passageway, his silent urgency contagious. Your pulse drums in your ears, your unborn child kicking within you as if sensing the nearness of freedom. Twisting through hidden corridors and secret stairwells, you feel hope begin to blossom like the first blooms of spring after a long, brutal winter. But dread nips at your heel's very step could lead to salvation or ruin. You strain to hear any signs of pursuit, yet the only sounds are your own hurried breaths and the echoing steps of your mysterious savior. Finally, he halts at a heavy wooden door set deep within the palace walls. He pushes it open, and the cool night air floods in, crisp and biting, yet sweet as the breath of freedom. Your eyes sting with tears, both from the cold and the overwhelming rush of relief. A horse waits in the shadows, reins held by a second figure, a young woman, pale-faced with anxiety. "This is my sister," the guard explains quickly. "She will guide you to safety. Ride hard and do not look back." You climb onto the horse, clinging tightly to the woman's slender waist. As you gallop away, the palace recedes behind you, its dark silhouette standing stark against the moonlit sky. For a moment, you allow yourself a flicker of hope. Could you truly escape your brother's wrath, find safety and sanctuary for your child? Hours pass in exhausting silence, your muscles cramped and aching, the relentless pounding of hooves jarring your weary body. Eventually, the horse slows to a gentle trot as the first pale fingers of dawn creep across the horizon. The woman guiding your escape speaks softly, her voice carrying the quiet resolve of one accustomed to risk. "We must rest briefly, Princess. A friend waits nearby to shelter us." She steers the horse toward a modest cottage hidden among dense trees. Smoke curls gently from its chimney, the scent of burning wood comforting and inviting. Your stomach twists painfully, hunger gnawing at you fiercely as the door opens and a kindly older woman emerges, eyes widening in recognition. "My dear," she whispers sympathetically, rushing forward to help you from the horse. "Come inside quickly, it's safe here for now." You collapse gratefully into a chair by a modest fire, warmth spreading slowly through your chilled bones. A bowl of hearty broth is pressed into your shaking hands, and you eat greedily, savoring every mouthful as tears of gratitude prick your eyes. Yet even as your body recovers, your mind churns with anxiety. You are free, but for how long? Your brother will soon discover your absence, and his fury will know no bounds. Fear grips your heart anew, cold and relentless. As if sensing your distress, your rescuer kneels beside you, her gentle eyes filled with quiet determination. "You must not lose hope," she whispers fervently. "We have come this far way, we'll go farther still." But before you can respond, a shout echoes outside loud, authoritative, unmistakable. Your blood runs cold. "They've found us. the young woman gasps, face paling. Fear explodes within you, sharp and visceral. Will your taste of freedom end before it has truly begun? The door shatters inward with a blast of splinters, and torchlight floods the cottage like liquid fire. You surge to your feet, heart hammering, the taste of iron on your tongue. Instinct propels you toward the back door, but rough hands seize your cloak. With a snarl, you twist free, the fabric tearing, and a howl of pain erupts behind you as a poker wielded by the old woman connects with the pursuer's skull. Smoke from the hearth billows outward, stinging your eyes, tangling with the screams. Somewhere in the chaos, your unborn child kicks, a terrified pulse inside your belly, pleading for life. The young guard's sister, the one who guided you here, grabs your wrist. "This way," she hisses, voice hoarse with panic. You stumble through a rear pantry, crates and dried herbs crashing to the floor, then out into a frost-silvered orchard. The pre-dawn air slices across your cheeks like shards of glass. Branches whip at your face as the two of you sprint, skirts snagging, feet slipping in the icy mud. Behind you comes the thunder of boots, the blast of horns, your brother's men baying like wolves on the scent. You reach the tree line, lungs aflame, and plunge into the forest's black maw. Pine needles crunch beneath your boots, releasing the resinous scent of sapsharp, medicinal as though the earth itself bleeds. A raven screams overhead, its cry a funeral bell. The girl points to a ravine ahead, half hidden by mist. "If we reach the riverbed, their horses can't follow," she gasps. You nod, swallowing fear. Each step jars your swollen abdomen. Pain pulses low and deep, but there is no time to falter. A whistle slices the air. An arrow thuds into a trunk inches from your head. Bark explodes, showering you with splinters. You duck, heart stuttering. Questions hammer your mind. How many archers? How close? Do they know you are heavy with child, or do they simply aim to kill? Another shaft hisses past, then Silencieri, poised the moment before a storm tears the sky. Your companion grabs a fallen branch, waving it through the brush to draw fire. When no arrow answers, she whispers, "They're fanning out. We have minutes, perhaps less." You slide, half tumble, down the ravine's embankment. Mud sucks at your boots, cold water seeping through the leather. At the bottom, a stream glimmers faintly, braided with morning haze. The current is swift, cruelly cold. The girl tears off her cloak, knots it around your belly for support, then grips your hands. "We cross here," she says. "The water will mask our trail." Terror flashes in her eyes, no bravado, just raw determination, but you feel a savage spark of gratitude. How many strangers would risk death for a disgraced princess? Stepping into the torrent is agony. Icy water bites to the bone, stealing breath, numbing toes. Stones shift treacherously underfoot. Halfway across the stream, your legs buckle, the chill clawing upward like frost on glass. Memories burst unbidden warm summer fountains, silk slippers, music drifting through marbled corridors coasts of a life torn away. A sob escapes, but you force it down, teeth clacking. You think of the child inside you, fragile as a candle flame in a gale, and you push on. You reach the far bank just as a horn blares upstream. Shadows flicker through the trees, riders, torches. The girl drags you beneath a fallen log, rotten wood crumbling beneath your nails, and together you press into the mossy darkness. Your breaths plume like smoke. The forest smells of wet earth and decaying leaves. Hoofbeats drum closer, reverberating through the ground, each vibration a death knell. A rider pauses on the opposite bank, torch raised. Firelight gilds his armor, reveals the sigil of your House of Crimson Hawk clutching a dagger. Brother's men. For a heartbeat, you fear he will sense your presence. Hear the frantic double beat of your heart and the infants within. But another horn calls, urgent, and he wheels away, horseshoes sparking on stone as the patrol thunders downstream. Slowly, the forest swallows the sound, leaving you trembling in the hush that follows catastrophe. Tears spill unchecked, mingling with mud. The girl squeezes your hand. "Not done yet," she murmurs. Dawn unfurls pale ribbons across the sky as you press deeper into the woods. Frost-rimmed ferns brush your skirts. Distant wolves howl, announcing the changing guard of night to day. Exhaustion drapes over you like chainmail, every step a battle. Yet the forest holds unexpected gifts. A hidden hunter's hut sagging with age, its roof thick with snow-laden boughs. Inside, dust-laden beams and the faint scent of smoked meat greet you. The girl bars the door with a plank, then sinks beside you on a rough pallet of straw. Silence swells, broken only by the crackle of a fire coaxed from half-damp wood. At last she speaks, voice barely above the ember's hiss. We ride at dusk toward the mountain pass. Beyond lies the free marches lands your brother cannot touch. A flicker of defiance ignites in her eyes. You will need allies, princess. My family is sworn to those who oppose his tyranny. Others will follow if they know you yet live. She pauses, studying your face. Will you fight him or keep running? The question hangs in the smoke-laced air. You press a hand over your child, feeling the subtle roll beneath your palm life, vulnerable yet undefeated. Heat floods your chest, not from the fire, but from a fierce, newborn resolve. You were raised to be a pawn, traded and discarded by men drunk on power, but motherhood forges new steel. You lift your gaze, voice steady though tears streak your cheeks. I will fight, you whisper, for my child, for every soul crushed beneath his cruelty. We will not hide forever. Outside, the wind shifts, carrying distant sounds of pursuit or perhaps merely the restless murmurs of a world on the cusp of rebellion. Either way, dawn has broken, and with it, the fragile beginnings of revolution. But can the spark you carry survive the tempest your brother will unleash? Twilight bleeds through the cabin's cracked shutters, painting the straw-littered floor in bruised purples and rusted golds. After hours of restless dozing, you waken to the smell of pine tar smoke and something heart-stirring stew. Elk meat simmers with wild garlic in a dented iron pot, its aroma threading through the gloom like a promise of life beyond fear. Your rescuer kneels beside the hearth, coaxing the flames. At last she lifts her hood, revealing soot-smudged cheeks, a scar slicing one eyebrow, and eyes the color of storm-tossed seas. My name is Elara, she says quietly, as though granting you a secret weapon. If we fall, remember it so at least one truth survives the court's lies. You whisper your own given name in return, though it tastes foreign now, coated in ash and exile. Elara bows her head as if sealing an oath. Then she presses a chipped wooden bowl into your hands. The warmth seeps into your palms, and for a blissful moment the world narrows to broth, meat, and the steady rhythm of your child's kicks proof that hope still beats beneath your ribs. Yet outside, the forest night hums with danger. Somewhere to the east, your brother's banners advanced stained hawks fluttering over columns of steel. Scouts have surely found the cottage's ruins by now. Torture will tear your allies' names from any survivor's lips. Every heartbeat is borrowed time. Elara spreads a tattered map across the palette, ridgelines sketched in charcoal, rivers like veining on brittle parchment, a single route marked in crimson wax. Here, she murmurs, tapping a notch between jagged peaks. The Wolf Spine Pass. Reach it by dawn and we slip into the free marches before the patrols seal the border. Her fingertip shifts to a black dot on the far side Flintspire, a rugged town notorious for harboring fugitives. There, we'll find Lord Calder. He commanded your mother's guard before the purge. He's raising a banner of his own. The name stirs half-buried memories. A tall captain with gentle eyes who taught you to ride as a child. Seeing him again feels impossible, like touching sunlight after living underground, but impossibility has become your daily ration. You nod, determination flaring. Elara rummages in a cedar chest, producing winter cloaks lined with wolf fur and a pair of curved daggers. One she belts at her waist, the other she offers hilt. First, weight of iron steadies the mind, she says. You slip the dagger beneath your cloak. Its cold kiss against your thigh is strangely comforting. The journey begins under a moon as thin as a blade. Snow muffles hoofbeats as you mount a stocky mountain pony gentler on your body than the warhorse you rode before. The animal's breath ghosts in silver plumes while Elara swings onto a lanky roan. She leads you along a hunter's track where spruce boughs arch overhead like cathedral vaults. Frost stars glitter on every needle. The night smells of sap and distant lightning. Hours crawl. Your pelvis aches with each jolt. Sometimes you must cling to the saddle horn and breathe through stabbing cramps. Elara's voice drifts back in low, chant-souled cradle songs of the northern tribes, meant to soothe infants and weary spirits alike. The rhythm steadies your panic, lulling both you and the child toward an uneasy calm. Then, as the first pale embers of dawn kindle the eastern ridge, a horn keens behind you closer than before. Elara wheels her roan, eyes flashing. They ride the riverbed. They've cut hours from the pursuit. Cold dread sluices through you. She points toward a spur trail climbing steeply left. Shortcut, treacherous but faster. Another horn blast, echoing like a predator's laugh, makes the choice for you. The shortcut is more goat path than road. Shale scrapes beneath the pony's hooves and wind claws at your cloaks, trying to wrench you into the abyss below. Far beneath, torch point snake along the main valley rode your brother's men, glimmering like a malignant constellation. Mid-climb, thunder cracks overhead not thunder, a rockslide. An avalanche of stone unleashed by winter thaw. Boulders hurtle past, smashing trees to kindling. A jagged shard clips Elara's roan. The horse screams, rears, and plunges off the track, dragging its rider toward the chasm. Without thinking, you dig boot heels into your pony and lunge forward, seizing Elara's cloak. Agony knifes through your abdomen at the strain, but you hold. The roan's reins snag on a root, jerking the beast to a halt inches from oblivion. Loose stone clatters into darkness. For a heartbeat, all you hear is the hiss of dislodged snow and your own ragged breathing. Elara hauls herself upright, face bloodless. "You should not have risked," she begins. "I will not lose another ally to him," you rasp, one hand cradling the child that roils beneath your ribs. Elara's gaze softens into something like reverence. By the time you crest the ridge, dawn has ignited the sky in molten gold. Ahead, the Wolfspine Pass yawns. Two colossal cliffs rising like fangs, their throats choked with swirling frost fog. You've reached the border, but a final obstacle waits. Silhouetted against the sunrise stand 3 riders, armor glinting a vanguard patrol. No way around, no time to hide. Elara's fingers brush your dagger hilt. "If it comes to steel, stay behind me," she whispers. But you shake your head. Ice steadies your voice. "We end this together." The child kicks, sharp and insistent, as though seconding the vow. You urge your pony forward, cloak billowing like raven's wings. The patrol's captain nudges his destrier ahead, visor up. Recognition flickers in his cold Isa court cousin who once begged favor from you with syruped compliments. Now his lips curl. "Rumors spoke true," he sneers. "The ghost returns, heavy with bastard spawn. Hand her over, girl, and your death will be swift." Elara draws her sword. The steel sings, bright and lethal. Yet even as fear claws your guts, a strange calm settles. You slide from the saddle to stand on snow-crusted earth, drawing your dagger with steady hands. The wind whips your hair into a dark banner, and for the first time you do not feel hunted, you feel unbreakable. "Come and claim me then," you say, voice ringing off the cliffs. "But know this, a princess betrayed may bleed, but she will also burn kingdoms to ash. Tell my brother his reckoning rides with me." The captain's smile falters. Behind him, the other riders shift uneasily. Somewhere overhead, an eagle cries a raw, rending note that splits the dawn. Steel is about to clash, fate balanced on a blade's edge, and the life within your womb thrums with gathering thunder. Time slows to the ache-long pulse between heartbeats. The captain's destrier paws the ground, vapor pluming from its nostrils. Behind him, the 2 flanking riders lower their lances, black pennons snapping in the mountain wind. Steel tips glint like icicles, hungry for flesh. Elara positions herself half a step ahead, knees flexed, sword angled to parry. Her breath fogs the air in short, controlled bursts. The scar across her brow reddens with rising blood. You tighten your grip on the dagger's wire-wrapped hilt until it bites your palm pane sharp enough to anchor you to this moment. A memory flashes your mother teaching you court dancing in a sunlit gallery. "Steps are blades," she had whispered, moving with lethal grace. "Learn the rhythm, and you can cut without a sword. Now the music is hoofbeats and the percussion of your own racing pulse." The captain raises a gauntleted fist. "Last chance, your highness. Surrender and I swear upon my honor." "You wear no honor," you snap, voice ringing like struck iron. "Only my brother's collar." His eyes harden. The fist drops. The first lance thunders toward Elara. She sidesteps, snow exploding beneath her boots, and hacks at the rider's shaft. Wood shatters. The horse shrieks, rears, flinging its master sideways into a drift. Before the man can regain his feet, Elara buries her sword through chainmail and rib, silencing him mid-cry. Steam spirals from the wound of grisly incense to the morning gods. The second lancer barrels straight at you. For an instant, terror blanks your mind. The child, the dagger, the ground sliding beneath. Then instinct fierce, maternal seizes the reins. You pivot just as the horse veers to spear you. Your cloak flares, you slash at the mount's eye. It screams and swerves, hurling the soldier against the cliff wall with a wet crunch. He slumps, helmet dented, breath-fogging glassy eyes. Only the captain remains. He dismounts deliberately, drawing a longsword etched with the hawk and dagger crest. "The gossip mongers lied," he growls. "You are no fragile dove after all." "I have learned," you reply, "that doves grow talons when their nests are burned." Steel meets steel. Elara engages him first, strokes rapid as lightning across ice. Sparks cascade. The canyon resounds with metallic screams. Yet the captain is taller, stronger, trained in palace yards since boyhood. He batters Elara back one step, two, until her heel snags a rock. His sword carves a shallow arc that opens her shoulder. Blood spatters the snow like spilled garnet. Pain twists her face, but she holds ground until a second crushing blow shatters her sword at the crossguard. She stumbles, weaponless. The captain turns to you, blade dripping. "Run," he says almost kindly. "Spare your child the sight of your death." You see your brother in his sneer here again, the dungeon door slamming. Rage boils, eclipsing fear. You shuffle your stance, dagger low. He lunges. Time fractures into shards of instinct. You deflect the slash metal shrieks on metal feel shock jar your arm to the shoulder. You yield a step, guiding his momentum past, exactly as your dancing tutor drilled. Turn the attacker's strength into emptiness. As he overruns, Elara bloodied but alive underhooks his sword arm with her good hand and twists. Sinew pops. The captain bellows, dropping his weapon. You strike. The dagger plunges between spalder and breastplate, carving through links into flesh. Heat floods your fingers. His mouth opens in raw surprise. You see a boy who once laughed beside you at court banquets, now dying for the wrong cause. You whisper, "Forgive me." Then you wrench free, and he collapses, crimson pooling to paint the white earth. Silence rolls in, thick as falling snow. 3 bodies steam. The mountain wind keens a funerary hymn. Elara sinks to her knees, clutching her wounded shoulder. You crouch, pressing a strip of cloak against the gash. Blood soaks cloth, hot against your numbed hands. "Hold," you urge. Wolf Spine's mouth is yards away. Footsteps crunch above. Both heads snap up. 6 silhouettes crest the ridge-cloaked figures with crossbows leveled. Your heart stops, then leaps. The lead rider raises an open hand, palm outward, universal sign of parley. His cloak flaps back, revealing a silver wolf broached the sigil of Lord Calder. Relief slams through you so hard your knees weaken. The foremost man dismounts, pulls back his hood. Iron-streaked hair, weather-lined face, and eyes you remember from childhood kind, resolute, forever vigilant. He bows, one fist over heart. "Your Highness?" Calder rumbles, voice hoarse with emotion. "The realm whispered you were dead. I swore those whispers false." Tears blur the world. You start to speak, but your body chooses that moment to seize an Agonian iron band clamping your abdomen, doubling you. The dagger clatters from numb fingers. Wet warmth gushes down your thigh. Elara catches you. "It's too soon," she breathes. "Bleeding. Gods, she's laboring." Calder barks orders. His men form a protective circle, scanning the pass for fresh pursuit while stretcher poles and blankets materialize as if by conjuring. You are lifted gently, so gently onto soft pelts. Pain lances with every jostle. Still you clutch Elara's hand, refusing to let darkness claim you. "Hold, little hawk." Calder murmurs beside the litter, eyes shining. "Beyond these cliffs lies sanctuary. Hold for 10 more minutes." But your body has begun its own rebellion, heedless of strategy or borders. Contraction follows contraction, savage waves eroding resolve. You taste copper as you bite your lip to muffle screams. Snowflakes melt on your fevered skin. Somewhere ahead, an avalanche cannonades, maybe thunder, maybe pursuit blasting the valley floor. You cannot tell. All senses narrow to fire and pulse and the frantic rhythm of hoofbeats as Calder's escort rushes you through the pass. Just as the cliffs widen into the free marches, a fresh contraction shreds your composure. You cry out. Blood darkens the pelts. The child is coming now, in an exile's dawn on a path of war. Elara's face hovers, pale with fear. "We need shelter now." Calder signals. His men veer toward a crumbling watch-to-wear relic of an older war jutting from the mountainside. Within its broken walls, torches flare, blankets unroll, snow is swept aside. Above, the sky bruises from amethyst to lead as storm clouds gather, promising more darkness. You are laid on furs near a sputtering fire. Pain crescendos, erasing everything but primal instinct. In a lull, you grasp Calder's sleeve, drag him close. "Swear," you rasp. "If I die, swear you'll keep my child safe and bring my brother to justice." Thunder rattles stone. Calder's jaw tightens. By the bones of my ancestors, he vows, your blood will not fall in vain, nor your babe live in chains. Lightning forks beyond the tower slit, illuminating his stern oath and the terror in Elara's eyes. Outside, wind howls like 1,000 grieving spirits, while within, the greatest battle birth begins amid ruin and rebellion. You draw breath, summon all that remains of courage, and push into the storm. Lightning veers across the broken tower's slit windows, branding jagged sigils on the crumbling stones. Rain follows cold needles driven sideways by a gale that screams through the mountains like an omen. Outside, Calder's sentries brace shields over the doorway. Inside, a meager fire gutter flutters, its embers strobing red over rough faces and the shine of fresh blood. Your blood. You lie on a pallet of wolf pelts, knees drawn, belly a storm-swollen sea. Contractions wrench you savagely now, each one ripping a hoarse cry from your throat. For a heartbeat after every wave you hover between world's vision graying, soul tugged towards some dim corridor of Restonly, to be dragged back by Elara's relentless voice. Breathe, princess. Stay with me. Breathe. She works with desperate competence, sleeve knotted over her own bleeding shoulder, jaw set against pain. Calder kneels at your head, one hand cushioning it, the other gripping your fingers. His weathered face is streaked with rain and tears he will never name. Scouts report search parties at the southern mouth, he murmurs. But the pass is blocked by rockfall you and Elara triggered. We have ours. He tries to sound confident. You hear the tremor beneath. Another contraction arches your spine. You scream as fire lances down your thighs. The tower stones answer with their own deep-grown ancient mortar shivering under the storm's assault. It feels as though the world itself is heaving in time with you, preparing to split. Between surges, you float, mind-wandering strange currents. You see your brother's face the day he pronounced you dead, how calmly he lied to the court, how the courtiers bowed to his fiction. You smell palace gardens after rain, feel sun on your skin, hear fountains singing. You taste the kiss that set this child quickening inside you, love snatched in secret corridors, love that cost you a kingdom. Then the pain returns, white-hot, obliterating memory. Elara, you rasp. If I fail, cut the cord. Run. Her eyes flash. You will not fail. You want to believe, yet something inside uncurls an intuitive knowing older than reason. Blood loss chills your limbs. The edges of the tower blur. Still, you gather strength for the next contraction. Groaning, pushing, bones seeming to crack. Outside, thunder drums like war. Crowns visible, Elara announces, voice fierce. Again, push! You summon the memory of your mother's lullaby, the cadence of rose-scented evenings. You push to its rhythm, throat raw. A ripping, searing momentan, then release. A thin, wet cry pierces the gloom, fragile as spun glass, yet loud enough to still the storm for half a breath. Your child, Elara lifts the wailing bundle, slick and trembling, into torch glow. Calder gasps a sound of awe from a man who has known too much death. A girl, Elara whispers, smiling through tears. She lays the infant on your chest, tiny fists flail, lungs testing the world. Warmth floods you, fierce and sweet. You stroke damp, downy hair, marveling at the impossible softness. My little phoenix, you murmur, voice shredded. Born from fire. But as the afterbirth tears free, a darker flood follows too fast, too bright. Elara's smile vanishes. Her hands press cloth to stem the scarlet rush. The bleeding won't slow, she mutters, panic strangled. You understand. The storm outside, the storm within one must break. Calder cradles your head. Hold on, he pleads. We have surgeons in Flintspire. There's no time, you breathe. Each word is a fading candle, yet your gaze locks on the infant now bundled against your breast. Her cry has softened to curious whimpers, eyes blinking at torch glare, as if already appraising this harsh world. She carries your blood, your mother's kindness, your father's stubborn fire, and none of your brother's cruelty. Elara, you whisper. Name her. Alinor. After my mother's mother. Promise you'll teach her the truth. I swear. Elara chokes, tears carving clean tracks through soot. Calder, you say, voice thready as spider silk. Raise banners for her, not me. She is the heir in exile. Guard her like the dawn. He bows over your hand, pressing it to his lips. By storm and steel I will. A hush settles, the tower listening. You feel weightless, pain receding like a tide. The fire's glow turns gold, then silver, then soft as moon milk. Rain hammers the roof in distant thrums. Somewhere far below, a horn sounds, perhaps searchers breaching the fallen rocks, perhaps allies closing ranks. None of it reaches you now. You look once more at your daughter. Her tiny hand grips your finger with impossible strength. Live, you tell her, voice a ghost on the wind. Be the storm that ends his reign. Her grip tightens as if answering. Then the world tilts. Warmth becomes cool silk. The firelight dims to embers. You exhale one final breath that tastes of salt and snow and jasmine, and slip beneath the dark, carrying memories of gardens and lullabies into whatever realm waits for broken queens. Dawn breaks crimson over Wolfspine Pass. On the tower's parapet, Calder raises a blood-stained swaddle high for his men to see. Behold, Alinor of the Phoenix, he shouts, voice cracking the cold. Below, rebel horns flare, echoing through ravines, carrying news that the lost princess is dead, but her flame has risen anew. Far to the south, a different horn answers from your brother's encampment, unaware that the child he sought to destroy now bears the hope of a realm he thought mastered. And in the hush between trumpet calls, a newborn girl nestles against Elara's heartbeat, tiny eyes reflecting embers and sunrise and a kingdom yet to be reclaimed.